Abhishek Rastogi with us, lawyer and founder of Rastogi Chambers. Abhishek, very good morning to you. Now, what is the likelihood of this actually happening? Because simplifying these tax slabs is something that has been on the cards for several years now.
Good morning, Tamanna. I think rate rationalization, we've been talking and we've been very vocal about rate rationalization, and for several reasons. Because once this rationalization happens, then the consequential effect would be that there will be lesser of disputes. Today, there are a lot of disputes between classification of goods and services, whether these would fall within the category of 5%, 12%, and 18%. Now, if this rate goes away, the classification disputes will also be reduced. That is one. I don't think the arithmetic will go against the revenue. They would do that arithmetic calculation to, ensure that the revenues do not dip. So that should not worry the revenue at all. But I think in the long run, this rate even of 5% must go off. So I think what we must have is a rate of exemption, 0%. Maybe about 15% rate on all goods and services, which would have about 80% of the goods and services covered within the tax slab, and 30% rate. So I think ideal situation would be 0%, 15%, and 30%, three rates. That's all. That will reduce a lot of complexities, a lot of disputes, classification disputes. Otherwise, and even from the systems perspective, the IT system perspective, which needs to be implemented, a lot of these rate tweakings are very detrimental to business. So I think once and for all, we need to settle this. And I think GST Council is working in the right direction. This rate rationalization must happen.
So on the face of it, Abhishek, I take your point that this is something that is an ideal scenario, but we've seen in the past that consensus is difficult to build, especially when state finances could be better. Let's just say that. And so therefore, from that perspective, would you say that this is something that could take a long time to come into play? And if at all it does come, do you think that there will be demands? And we had a story just yesterday about sin goods and the fact that those could be taxed more. Is that a trade-off that you see that is likely?
Certainly, I think there will be certain more products which would go to the higher category tax rate. And I think what must happen is that those goods which are meant for common consumption, those goods which would be more consumed by all classes of income groups, must not be taxed at a very high rate. And even if this rate rationalization happens, I think few states may have some concerns about some products. I think to do this rate rationalization, the success story will happen only when these issues which are addressed, which are state specific, are addressed, and hence the reduced rate is made applicable on some of these products, and then only this rate rationalization can happen. I think this rate rationalization will also depend on how state reacts to certain products, and if that is addressed, I don't see that should be a problem.